What's up? Didn't realize we started. All right. Oh man, what a day already. It's only fucking one. Yeah, no morning show this morning. I was not in it, to be honest. All right. So John's coming. Travis is gay. He has to work. But John's coming, and we got a lot to talk about. Man, what a day already. I think this is good. I think this is not a bad thing. What's up, guys? What's up, Travis? Slater. Slater's not first. I think Travis was first. Les Bentley third as usual. What up, Maine? Jonathan, what's up? Jeff, what's up, man? KD, yeah, sorry about the morning show. I just didn't have my heart in it this morning. I would have been a piece of shit. Yeah. What's up, Zach? What's up, man?
What's up?
Oh man. What's good with you, man? How's Leslie?
Good. She's good. She's working.
She's working? What a savage.
I think she's going to work all the way up to.
My wife did. I think it ended up 2 days, I think is what it was. Like 2 days, she was like, I'm done. And then 2 days later, she had baby. Man, so what a morning. What do you think? Knee-jerk reaction?
I'm very surprised at a couple of them.
Yeah.
We're talking about the competitions that are announced, the in-person competitions that are announced to send people to the CrossFit games.
Yep.
And I'm very, my initial reaction is a excited but wait and see type reaction. Like I don't really want to bash any competition. I don't want to celebrate any competition until we see how it works. If it works, if it's exciting.
Sure. What are your reserves? Why are you reserved from, like, it seems like you're kind of honing in on like a specific, by the way, everyone, we haven't spoken at all about this, like at all. And so you seem to have like a general reserve of like the competition itself. Like what's behind that?
Just like because a lot of the competitions are different and like everybody's not at the same competition. It's not, I just think some competitions end up being better than others. And sometimes it's like sometimes people get like a free ride to the games because nobody else is at the competition. Like it's, you know what I mean? Like it's just like in 2019, whenever they had the sanctionals and they had the Norwegian Championship, and do you know who went to the games from the Norwegian Championship?
I don't know who went to the. I mean, I could tell you. I could probably end up guessing eventually, but I don't know.
I don't know if you would guess.
No, is it a nobody?
I wouldn't say it's a nobody.
Nobody. That's probably the worst.
But they haven't made the game since then.
Oh no. All right. There we go. Sorry. Who was it? Did you say?
It's Griffin Raleigh.
Oh. Or Carolyn Prevost knew.
So I'm saying like, so it's not a nobody, but I don't think that guy's making it at any other CrossFit competition.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like but but I am excited about it. It just really depends on how they work. You know what I mean? And I know it's a sucky answer because I don't give like a really like an actual opinion on it, but
yeah,
I feel like it's impossible until we see it.
So what would make it good in your eyes? And here, how about we decide? How about we elaborate on what it is first? Does that work?
Sure.
Okay. We'll pull up Instagram. That's probably the best way to start.
Okay. One of them has like how many people are in it.
Oh, you mean how many people? Oh, like how many people are invited?
No, yeah, from that competition.
Sure. So,
like if anything, it just gave me more questions.
So, okay. So here it is. So we have 9 events. 16 athletes will go from these 9 events. Okay. Basically, 2 from Mayhem, 2 from Woodland, 2 from French, 1 from Rebel, 1 from Far East, and 2 from Syndicate, Torian, Fittest, and Copasor. Okay. And so, which is pretty much from a dispersion factor, the same as what it has been, right? Africa and Asia get 1 less, and everyone else gets 2. The states have 3 events, and
so go to the CrossFit Games post.
Oh, I thought this was a CrossFit Games post.
Whoops. No, it's been so the CrossFit Games, and like if you click on
this one,
yeah, so you can see how many people go.
Yeah, so we can see
it's 14 total. So that
16.
would mean I think it's 14.
16 men and women, 9 events, 2-2, 1-1, 2-2-2, 1-1-1, 1-1-1. So yeah, it's
okay. 16. So then that would be 14 come out of the semifinals.
That's what it seems like.
It's kind of an odd.
It is an odd number. It's a weird number. Well, yeah, I agree. It's a weird number. Maybe it's 24. Does 20? So if maybe it's 40. Maybe 30 was a misspoken. I think it's 30 for sure.
Yeah,
I think they didn't just make a typo. Do you think?
No, I've heard from multiple.
Yeah. Okay, so 14, but that's more than came out of the Open in 2019. Or 20 or whatever that the second one was when it was 5. Right. I think it's way more than I anticipated.
My dog is freaking out. Go ahead.
It's way more than I anticipated. I thought it was only going to be like 5 events or 4 events. I thought we'd have like 1 in the States, 1, and I figured it was going to be like 10 come from these in-person events and 20 come from online, and there was not going to be that many. And so I'm pretty happy with 9, right? If we're looking at, so we have 2 in Tennessee. Everyone can say what they want to say about that. I think that's like one of our biggest kind of complaints. Yeah, this is a good points. More events, but less spots at them. But I would rather have more events than 5 or 6 spots from one event, right? I think in general.
I agree with that. Do you think so? Like one of my questions is like, you're allowed to do as many as you want.
That's what it seems like. So if you just go based on
why would if you're like somebody like I mean Carolyn Prevost is a good one. If you don't make it in the semifinals, why would you not just go to South Africa?
Sure. And I think that's going to be the play. I mean, it's a qualification process, right? And so I think those things are going to happen, which is what happened in 19, and it's only 1 spot. So you have to know who's going to be there, right? You take the risk. It's part of the sport. I don't think there's a bad thing about that.
Yeah, but then you take away everything they've tried to do the last like 8 years.
You mean like having a South African to be
correct?
So I've heard Mayhem is invite only. There's no qualifying.
They all operate on their own system.
They will all operate on their own system.
So I can do the qualifier to any one of these.
So there might not be a qualifier for some too, right? So that's also the other thing to remember.
Here's what. Okay. if there's a qualifier to like the African one, what's stopping me from doing that
Oh, sure.
qualifier and
Yeah,
making it, and then nobody else does the Africa, and then there's somebody like me
100%.
that goes to the games?
Sure.
That's what I don't like.
But I mean, and so I don't disagree with that, but that same sentiment is the fact that um
And if there
uh
is qualifiers, so some of these and some of these aren't, when are those going to be announced?
right. So Australia was announced, Torium Pro was announced, and they're gonna use the Open as the qualifier. I've heard that.
And I hate that.
Just listen.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. They're gonna add one workout. That's what it says on their website, on Spin's post and the Torium Pro's post. So it's the 3 workouts, and then it's one workout from their own qualifier, and it's all going to be done on Competition Corner. I've heard that another competition is going to do the same thing, but it's going to be solely, and then Torium Pro also reserved the right to invite basically who they want, who performs well in the in-affiliate or in the in-affiliate semifinal. Okay. And what it seems like, besides the what I've heard that Mayhem might be invite only, is that somehow CrossFit convinced all of these to make sure that the Open was part of their qualifications. And while that you might not like that because you don't like the Open as a test in general, I think that is the best move to keep people
CrossFit,
to keep people in the sport, right? Keep people in the Open, and to also maybe create more importance to the Open, right? So now if this is the case, these qualification spots are way more important than the top 1%, right? Because even if 50 went on each one of these, that's only 450 people, right? And that would be probably more, right? It's probably closer to 30 to 40 to every event, right? You would assume invites or whatever. And so I think that might maybe paint a picture of the Open might be a little more complete, a little more balanced, maybe a lift
if it's
whatever.
like the Open of old, I'm all for it. Then like it fixes as far as all of my like negativeness about the Open. If I would say all the way up to 2020, I would say
2020 was the last best Open. For it was 5 workouts still.
Correct.
And
It
ended
was,
with one of the hardest workouts ever, that wall ball row muscle up piece.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I love that workout.
Great.
Like, and you pick your own venture.
Terrible. Hard workout.
Yeah, no. But that's a hard workout. You pick your own venture. For people who are saying, like, I just want like lifting. That's not the case at all. Like, I want 120 cal row, 80 wall balls, and 40 ring muscle ups. That's what I want.
Sure.
I want 7 minutes, as many reps as you can, chest to bar and thrusters.
Right.
That's what I want. Right. To this like the last 3 Opens, that's too hard of a workout.
Right.
It's chest to bar and thrusters.
Sure.
And I'm saying you cannot qualify. You can't have it a part of qualifying the fittest people with the last 3 Opens. You can't, it's not a good test, is what I'm saying.
I think 2022 could have done it. And that's what I was suggesting anyways. I think 2022, especially if they're going to add one, 2022, I think
2022 is your best bet. I still don't think it's good.
It's not complete. It's good. It's not complete because it's only 3 workouts. And I agree that it's hard. I think adding one is a really good idea from Torium Pro. Right. But to come back to what you're saying, it does look like in sort of on what Carolyn was saying is they are really close. I don't think any of these are going to have full qualifiers. Not one, because there's no time.
Yeah.
Right. So I think they're all going to use at least some portion of the Open as their placings, which means that Patrick has to do the Open, which I'm all for.
No, I'm just saying it. Okay, if it's like the Open of past, I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. And maybe it will be. And I mean and then we're more arguing semantics because like that's not even talking about these competitions. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not negative or excited ever about something new until I just have to see it happen for a year before I like pass judgment on it.
Sure. That's fair.
I was a pretty big fan of the top 10% with the quarterfinals. And then you had the quarterfinals, and then from there it was the top 60 that went to semifinals.
Right.
I didn't think that was a bad way. And then the semifinals were in person, and it was like a conference finals, right? I didn't think that was bad. I was way more happy with that system than a whole bunch of other people were that are in the space. But it's because I thought you hit every tier of fitness, and it's okay that the open is trash, and it's just test endurance because it's 10%. If you can't make top 10%, then like you got no business anyway.
Sure.
Right. 1%, I feel like you're alienating a lot of people. And I'm in that category of people that are alienating. So are you. So is Travis.
Yeah,
pretty
sure.
much
No,
everybody
sure.
that talks about
I don't think Travis is tech. I think Travis would have made it, by the way.
No, he's not in the top 1%.
I thought he was like 80th in the East or like 100th in the East.
He was like 160th.
Which is still top 1,600 in the world, for sure. Anyways.
Is it top 1% for that region?
No, that's not how it works. Top 1% in the world. And yes, that is top 1% in that region.
Okay, well, Travis
anyways, sorry. I digress. Okay. I understand. I think that's a fair assessment. I do think you're being a negative Nancy about it.
No, that's the open. He was 120 with quarterfinals. He wasn't in the open.
Oh.
In the open, he was way down there.
Fair. Okay.
So I'd stand corrected because in the open, he was not like the open 1%. I think it's harder to be in top 1%.
Oh, it is for sure because there's going to be an outlier event.
You just have to be so freaking great at this one like type thing of fitness, right? He was top 1% for quarterfinals.
Got it. So this sentiment that everyone has bitched and moaned about for the last 3 years is for sure gone, right? Like, it has to be gone.
What sentiment?
Does the open doesn't matter. The open matters immensely now. Like 2020.
It's everything.
It's literally everything. Is that a good or bad thing?
I don't think it's a bad thing. But just depends how the open is, man.
Sure.
I don't think it's a bad thing if the open is a good test. At all. I think it's a great thing. Because now the open means everything to the athletes too. The elites, I'm saying.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. I'm 100% on this. I think with where we were headed and this like alienation and polarization challenges that we were going through as a sport, I think they brought this together really well, right? Like to have these 9 events, have that many events, have that many individuals coming from events, right? So everyone can complain, right? That they're not able to, they don't want to do online. Great. You don't have to, you just got to do well in the open. Everything. It's just think of the open as your qualifier, right? That's 3 weeks, whatever it is. All of you are going to get
nothing for them. It changes nothing for them.
It doesn't, but everyone felt like it
is very like.
Say that one more time.
Like it changes nothing for them with the open, other than like it's a requisite. You have to do it, but they've always had to do it.
Correct.
But I will say the in person is not a given for anybody. Like top 2 is
top 2, no, for sure. But I mean, that's what we want, though. We don't want. I mean, I would rather have that than top 10, like 3 events, and it be 8, and 8.
No. I think it's harder to make it.
Yeah, it is. And I think that's a good thing. I think that's what we would want. You know what I mean? Because now there's this point of it's like, okay, here's this one way to make the games, but here's this other way, right? And now there's decision, and now there's some strategy, and now there's other aspects within it. It's like, hey, you need to time it up. You have to be confident that you're going to do it. Are you confident enough to go up against, go to the region that T is in to be fighting for one spot? You know what I mean? right? And so even if she does that, maybe Tia doesn't even do an in-person event, right? 14. So even if we think about it, so 16 are going to go, right? Which means like basically it's going to be between the top 4 to 6 every event. I can't imagine these events are going to, because they're so soon, that they're going to be giving away a lot of prize money. So I don't think a lot of people are going to try and go out of their way. You know what I mean? Like it'll just be to qualify, right? Which is different than what it was however many years ago, because there was actually prize money in a lot of them, right? Like there was like Dubai had big prize money. Dubai's not in it. You know what I mean? And so I think there's going to be a little bit different of a feel, and people won't be going just to get a bag. They're only going to be going to qualify, which I think will thin it out for sure. And I think we're going to have really good races across the board.
Well, and it's free selection. So like, do you think people will, I think.
So Carolyn, so what I've heard so far is well, the only ones, not all of them will be based on the your semifinal. They'll be open biased because people are going to have to make travel arrangements, right? So besides, like, I mean, really all of these, even Torium Pro isn't anything based on the affiliate or the in-person semifinal. It says open.
No. She's saying people won't know. Like you won't know if you're in the top 14 because semifinals won't be finalized yet. In the semifinals.
Oh, I see. Oh, like people who are qualifying for that. That's interesting. That isn't interesting.
I mean, think they're saying that they're going to be able to do it. I think they're saying they're going to be able to finalize it before then.
No, that's impossible.
Well, they're going to have to go to the event. How do you say I feel like you have to have your 14 that are going before you know this.
Well, okay, so let's think about it. So assuming we'll just say it's a lower number. We'll say it's 1,300 men, 1,000 women. Okay, qualify for the in-affiliate semifinal, because it was 16-13 last year is what the number would have been. So we assume it's going to be lower. Now it might not be that much lower, but we'll just assume it is 1,300 men, 1,000 women with open view videos. So maybe a couple hundred people they do the judging course, they do the advanced judging course, and they get it and they support them. Can they review that many videos with support from the public in that time frame? Does that increase their ability to do so? Assuming half of people do it, because it'll probably be, usually it's about half, probably 500 to 700. So we'll just assume that. So
I think you have a chance to make your videos public, and if it gets 10 thumbs down, then yours doesn't count, and then it gets an extra view and you'll get penalized as such.
But, right. That's what I'm saying. But so with the public help, do we think that means that they can review videos faster, even more efficiently?
Yeah, I think you could. I mean, I don't.
So what
with the public help, I almost think you wouldn't review a video unless it got flagged.
So we have May 1st through the 4th. Okay. And the events are
they're in April.
2 are in April before. 2 are before, and then everything else is after. French Throwdown is.
That's so convoluted, man.
Sure. So Mayhem Classic is open, invite only, is what I was told. And Wadland Fest just made an Instagram page like this morning. Right. Yeah. I think that's like they commented on here. I feel like I saw it somewhere. Maybe not. I thought I saw it. Maybe there it is. Yeah. When was this posted? 3 hours ago. So it's brand new.
They didn't even know they were a thing until they didn't even. Guys, we gotta make this event. I don't know what just happened. I don't know. We're an event now. We gotta make it.
This picture isn't even centered.
Mad Events official right here. They're like at the top here. They are like elves on Christmas right now. Like
Oh,
they
for
are
sure.
working like crazy.
I guess they put on Madrid. I guess they've put on Madrid. Yeah. So it's the same company. It's just not the Madrid event.
Hey, what if the Mayhem Classic? What if they just invited a bunch of names and then Tyler Christoffel to get Tyler Christoffel to the games?
Okay, so this is what
they just didn't invite anybody except.
So Mayhem is currently doing their 24-hour row and they're live. And so Rich was about to come on and I was like, hey, I'm stoked for the Mayhem Classic. I've heard it's a great event. Seems, I think Rich is a great programmer. And I was like, but how do you keep some integrity in the programming, especially if you're going to invite for one? But my question to him and Rory was, how do you keep it unbiased and balanced? For
on top of that, Rich likes the program. Rich has a bias to his programming,
right?
But which his freaking people are doing.
Right. So and they were like, oh, the cream of the crop's going to win. And I'm like, I'm not saying they're not. That's always the answer. And I don't disagree with that. And I was like, but if you program, 150 wall balls, 150 GHG sit-ups, and 150 shuttle runs or whatever it is, and you guys are doing more wall balls, GHGs, and shuttle runs leading up to it, just because like it's in your mind, right? Like, that's an unfair advantage no matter who shows up, right? Unless you're just saying that Tia and I don't know, Dallin are going to win and they're going to qualify, right? Or whoever. I don't even know if any guys qualify are that far ahead at that point where if they showed up, they're going to win. Jeff, we'll just say Tia and Jeff. Sure. Tia and Jeff are there. They're going to win no matter what, which would be true. But that second place spot is a huge deal, right? And I think there's, I don't want there to be a bias.
Hatfield's going to get one of those spots.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Mayhem. Right. Exactly. So, or whatever it is, though, I think it's impossible for them not to have some sort of unfair advantage as a Mayhem athlete that's doing Mayhem programming leading into the Mayhem, especially because it's basically before the semifinal. And it seems like it's invite only, right? Which could be just from the open, right? But either way, I think there pretty much has to be, right? Like, I think it's pretty impossible for it not to have some form of unfair advantage, but I am happy they're there. Right. That's very fair, Carolyn. There will be biases because there's always people that have leaks. That's totally true too. Right now there's nine events. Right.
What do you mean? Leaks don't happen. Come on now.
John's like, I live on leaks. Let's make sure they keep happening.
No, nobody knows anything about anything. Okay.
So this is interesting.
What?
This is interesting, right? Yeah, I know, right? So
did you like our little reel?
It was funny. Yeah, it was funny.
We're gonna try to do that
every time you get a leak.
No, not every time. No. I think we're gonna. I have not confirmed it, but we're gonna try to like kind of do a more of like an inside the locker room type, behind the scenes type deal. Where it's like The Office kind of, but like we just like us bantering, you know what I mean? About whatever topic. Like it could be, I'm just waiting on the negative one about John Woolley or a Halpin or something. Like, I mean, that one's probably going to explode, but where it just bounces across people. You know what I mean?
Would it be on Savon's page or would it be on Instagram?
No, it's just going to be released like on Instagram like that. It's not like a official thing, which is kind of like fly by the side type deal. But like when we cover an event, we're for sure going to have like a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, this is for sure happening. I've heard it not from any of the same sources John's heard it from, which is very, very strange, which means that it's definitely for sure.
As long as you know you heard it here first. That's all that matters.
That's right. Okay, so
what is this?
John, you want to come to Iowa the weekend of tier? Yeah, that's totally.
I'm having a baby around then, I guess.
Yeah, like the same weekend.
Yeah. Otherwise, I would. I honestly, I plan on doing the fittest experience, but the baby is right around that time. So
Fitness
So
Experience has
we'll see.
an event.
I know that shocked me like a lot.
Yep. But it's not the Fitness Experience. It's just
like part of their thing. They're just
it's just the managing group that like they're running it, right? But it won't be like they're not changing the event or anything like that.
No.
It's in January.
It's in January. Right. It's not even. It's in. It's in Texas.
So how do we feel about 3 states events and then two European? And then what is it? We have 2 European, 1, 2, or is it 3? No, 2. 2 European, 3 in the States, 1 South America. I'm missing 1. Oh, Far East throw down.
Yeah,
South
1 Africa,
America,
1 Asia, 2 Europe, 1 South America, 3.
Yeah. We think that's the right
yeah,
the
man,
right disbursement.
So. Yeah.
This was, I heard they made a joke about this on a podcast a few weeks ago, or maybe a month ago, maybe even longer. That like, what if we did a Mayhem only event? And I'm guessing that was right before Dave probably reached out and was like, hey, we need you guys to do an actual event. All right. So 14 from the Open are going to go directly, from that in affiliate semifinal. What do you feel about the numbers? Split down the middle? Should it be more or less each way?
Again, I feel like it's impossible to know until we see it. I don't know if you can do, like if you want 30, if 30 is the number, I like that these bigger competitions get 2 people. It's not like you don't have to win,
Mm-hmm. Well, there'll be backfills for sure, right? There will be people there that aren't competing for a spot, I would assume, right? That are maybe
I wish there was a way we could do it without that.
I know, just from a spectator perspective, following the sport kind of thing.
Yeah. What if the Fitness Experience invited me?
But you're not in the pro division.
Yeah, I'm the only person they invite from the RX division. They can invite whoever they want to invite, man.
They can. That's true.
That could be my way to the semifinals. What if I use these platforms, my podcast like thing, and that's how I'll make the semifinals just by what's the word I'm looking for? Not nepotism.
Special, and it's probably nepotism.
But I thought that was just like family. You know what I mean? It's nepotism, but like
favoritism.
Favoritism.
Does nepotism have to be family? It's friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because of just nepotism. Honestly, they probably get more coverage from it. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, shut up. All right, so Carlos says
no. You don't think so? Every part of like Spin, Sevon, all of them would love to cover the Fitness Experience if I was doing it, even if I'm last place in every single event. I guarantee you all of these aren't covered like that.
It's probably not. I agree. But I hope we get some. Do we have any overlapping events? Same weekends? Yep. Far East and Renegade. Oh, we have 3. We have 4 on the same weekend. Man, you're not going to sleep at all that weekend. Torian, Syndicate, Far East, and Renegade.
And they're all
my God, that's like
areas.
That's like 19 hours of time zones. Holy shit!
This is where I make my money, man. Okay,
that's right.
Honestly, I'm really just at Sevon's will. At that point, like
it'll for sure be a once a day update. There's no way you guys are going to be live in the middle of the night.
Him and Spin. So like Spin, we might be able to live stream and talk about it the whole time. Africa and Asia, we don't care.
Okay, so you say that, but what if Brent Fikowski comes out of retirement and goes to
depends who all's there. It would have to be more than one person.
Sure, obviously.
It would actually have to be a battle. If there's somebody, if somebody goes there just because they know they're going to win, for instance, like Catherine went to Africa. Okay, I don't, on 2020, 2019, Catherine went to Africa.
Right.
And nobody cared.
But
nobody watched it. She won easily.
But I mean, theoretically, how enticing would it be if it was without the bias of everyone, you guys not liking Vellner, but what if it was Pat and Brent fighting for one spot in South Africa. I know that probably wouldn't happen, but what if it was? Entertaining, yeah?
Yeah, no, entertaining for sure. I still don't know if that gets it done. Not those two.
Not those two, sure.
For like you pick the two people they like are actively trying to
Yeah, like Hopper Dallin. That would be sick.
Hopper Down would be a yeah. They'd cover those. Colton and Taylor, that would be a good one.
That'd be a fun one.
Dude, if I was one of these events, I would invite Taylor.
Oh, for sure. So I'm interested. I am interested to see how
Like,
each one of these
publicity and grow.
Sure. Well, you just invite who's like, I mean, but all of these aren't going to have a stream. I mean, I hope they do, but there's no way all of them do.
Why not?
It costs a lot of money to run a stream. They're going to have to hold normal events behind all of these.
No, you just give Brian Friend grand and he'll go up there with his cell phone.
I mean, it's better than nothing.
It is. I'm not
true.
saying that as a slight.
I feel, Carolyn, all in person should be prior and online semis is the last chance qualifier. I think I don't disagree with that. I think that would be most ideal. I'm assuming that there was 0% chance of that being possible this year in general.
I think it would be better if it was the opposite.
Flipped. So I could see the argument for both.
Prior, but you did like biggest competition for whatever competition you think is going to have like the most publicity or the biggest or whatever. And I'm not saying like you should like game. I guess I am saying you should game it. But like the Far East Throwdown should be first, and then South Africa should be second, and then Copa Sur should be third, and then
you mean like in how you're ranking the events of where to go, or just the actual order of them?
No, the order of them, and then that. But because people get to pick where they want to go, and you can do as many events as you want, and so the last chance to make the games is the Mayhem Throwdown. The last chance.
Mm-hmm. So
everybody and anybody that has not made it is going to be at that competition.
Yeah.
And you don't think that's going to be amazing?
Oh, that'd be, yeah. Well, I mean, it would be, but they wouldn't be able to do anything. I mean, they would just have to be all streamed. There's nowhere to sit. I mean, unless they're renting something out.
Oh, okay. Well, then the syndicate crown. It doesn't matter. You pick the biggest one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like if people would go, I think freaking Torian would be amazing.
But that'd be a great
so far across the world. It's hard to like all the Americans. Like I don't know if all of them are going over there, but like you just pick one, like one of the ones that you think is going to be huge, and that's your last one.
So so there is no order. So these two are TBD. So I mean, it could be. I mean, Fittest Experience could pop up like June 6th. That could be the last chance.
But you know what I'm saying? Like you
no, for sure. Yeah. Oh no, I agree.
Mayhem would be like the Duke Blue Devils game. It'd be like a Duke UNC game because nobody can sit anywhere. We have to build bleachers in there.
Yeah, I like it.
You get our whole crew going in there covering it.
I think that would be awesome. So to Carolyn's point and to your point, we've done Wave before. That's how 2019 was, or 20 or what, I don't know, however you want to define it. The October Open. That's how the October Open was. It started it, top 5 made it, and then the rest were up to their own through the sanctional time. And so I think both would fulfill. I like having the entire online portion of the season complete before, because that also gives the competitions a chance to invite from that in full instead of just the open or whatever. Maybe a better so and then I
don't want to go like in person to online to back to in person, like it's, and then also online and then in person.
Yeah, and then also what you could do, right, is you could also kind of what the age group online qualifier used to do, right, is like use your total placing from the open as like part of the scoring, right, to keep the open to matter. You know what I mean? Question, Craig. No, they're 100% going to be different. I think
say that. So Spence. The qualifiers. Yeah. Yes.
Qualifiers. Yeah, for sure.
They will. They all have their own flair. They all have they're all their own.
Have you heard anything that there's like the one event again?
Have not.
Okay. If they do that, I just hope they choose a fucking better event than the run rope climb, because that was the worst event to have, is the the universal event between all of them. Like, just make it a better event.
It did make it. That's probably the one event that skewed who made the games the most. Like, I agree with what you're saying.
You think so? Even on the guys,
yes.
It was like a 10-second dispersion between first and 13th.
Yes, I do. So much can happen with an event like that. Yeah, Colton Mertens almost didn't make the games because he got last place in that event. Almost last place in that event. He was first place the entire weekend, won like 3 events, and then he's got tiny hands.
Sure.
And rope climbs are just for sure. He's tiny. He's got to jump. He's got to jump longer. I mean, there's an anthropometric disadvantage for him for sure. I think they were thinking about like, okay, we'll let them do the CrossFit because they're competitions. We'll let them do the CrossFit events, and then we'll do the single modality, the boring stuff that we want them to do, and we want people that can do that rope climb workout the fastest.
Sure.
You know what I mean? That's what we're choosing. We're choosing high ball or pulling that to be the break. And like I'm just saying, I don't think any event influenced who went to the games more than that legless rope climb event that year.
Interesting.
Look at how many tiny little gymnastic girls made it. A lot.
Is that are you sure that's the same year? You're not talking about that the weighted muscle up one?
No, it'd be 2022.
Yeah.
So Rebecca Flusile made it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. This is the one. This is what I want to bring up. So I think the West Coast has forever given up their right to hold an event. 100%. I think they're still fucking, at least in California, put it in fucking Utah, and I think it would do better. Dude, California has completely given up their right to host another CrossFit in-person event, without a doubt, forever. And I think it's just
because it's California, or
because no one goes. No one goes. SoCal doesn't give a shit about CrossFit anymore.
Yeah.
Even when it was in Vegas, it was pretty empty.
Yeah, the West Coast.
Granted,
that
was
COVID. Classic was really, really, really bad last time.
Really bad. They're like, oh, it was a holiday weekend. I don't give a shit. That should have made it better. Bring your kids if you guys cared. In 2017, I know that's hard to compare to, but like there would have been years where what Memorial Day, what huge CrossFit competition? Oh, good. Let's go cook out in the fucking parking lot. Bring beers.
What about the NorCal Classic? It did well.
Not from a spectator perspective.
It's not a spectator event. Are you gonna say Mayhem Classic didn't do well from a spectator perspective?
They weren't. These two events aren't allowed to.
Crash didn't do well from a spectator perspective.
They're designed not to have spectators.
So is NorCal.
Okay, fair.
That's what I'm saying.
Is designed.
No, I don't disagree with you.
Okay.
I'm just saying I think NorCal Classic was a a good competition that like had a lot of backyard flair too.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
That
I did hear you had to walk like a mile and a half to get to the
sure.
the event.
Yeah. But they kind of like are a beat to their own drum type of like the people that
I could see them getting one of these.
Well, I mean, not even one of these. I'm just saying I think you said an in-person competition and
fair. And CrossFit supported in-person competition.
Okay.
We're getting specific. That's fair. That's fair.
There you go. Dude, Utah would be sick. Salt Lake City or Park City?
Yeah, dude, that'd be great.
I want so badly, CJ.
I'm ready
for them to do. As far as we talked about events in the chat. And I almost think we should do a list of things you want to see that you haven't.
Like in competition?
Yeah, like at the CrossFit Games.
Okay, are we talking about like movements or events?
Anything.
Or like anything?
Yeah. Specifically like events though. Like I'm not saying like I would love a hot dog stand. There's not been one hot dog stand at a CrossFit Games event. That's what I want. Make it like baseball.
I'm guessing.
That's not what I'm talking about.
I would put money on it that when it was at the ranch, someone was fucking rotating some hot dogs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was there. 100%. 100%.
Yeah,
right next to the Panda Express sign.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking like more specifically CrossFit, like the events, right? But you can get creative with it. I we should do that episode with Travis. But I'm going to say this one first, and I'll probably repeat it when
That's fine.
I want there to be a mountain time trial on a cycling bike, so badly. I think it would be so great, and people like you have to rock with me, okay? If games athletes, you could do all men and all women, and you just picked. We're in Albany now, so I don't know.
I know. I'm looking at the topography.
Hold on. I don't know it. I don't know it.
Here we go. What does this mean?
It's the end of the Appalachians. We'll see.
A little bit.
Yeah. We'll see.
A little bit. Right here.
Okay, Kenneth. So Kenneth, like, you're not hearing me, man. You're not hearing me. Go watch some of the Tour de France races that, like, when they have an up mountain finish. It is spectator friendly. What I'm saying is you release guys 2 minutes after each other. All right. Everybody has the same bike, but it has gears. So like people who have experience, who can change their gears, like they have they have an advantage, right? Same bikes, but it's a gearing system. And you just go uphill, you release them 2 minutes at a time, and then you have their data able to record. So you see how much watts somebody's pushing. So you can see that Hopper is pushing 440 watts while Yonakoski is pushing 340 watts, and Yonakoski is actually gaining ground on him. You know what I mean? Like you can see, and then you'd have like second check marks, just like the Tour de France, right?
Yeah.
But like you see who's coming on, who's gaining ground on who, and you just release them 2 minutes after each other up a mountain. I think it would be so cool. And maybe I'm alone. But
no, I don't think so. I think
that event would be amazing.
I'm always for a different implement. When you asked that question, the first thing that I saw,
I heard it too. Go ahead.
What?
Nothing. It was me. It was me, not you.
Oh. The first thing that I thought when you said that was the experience, and Jesus Christ,
what are
I don't know, just breaking out herpes, the first thing that I thought was kind of running it similar to how Syndicate Crown did and Legends did, is like having a real secondary competition going on, like a real one, where other people are competing, they're there, they qualify for it. I think that would be a way to really boost some ticket sales and really boost the people that are there. People will travel all over the world to compete next to the CrossFit Games.
You have to have money.
What do you mean? Legends fucking did it. Super successful in the same room, on the same floors.
That's Masters, though. Those people care more.
You would invite them at it would be team, like you would do it kind of how the Masters Fitness Collective is doing it. They're like,
so like
invite thing. Yeah, sure. They're just competing next to the pros, but I think that would be a huge win because people would do it. Even people that are just going to spectate anyways, like, oh yeah, let's do the competition. Let's see if we can. And then a bunch of people that never would travel. People travel all over the world to compete on the floor or at the venue in some capacity.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as movements, I don't know. I'd have to sit there and think about it. Oh, this is one like a combine style of events, right? Whether it's the actual combine, I know we've talked about this before, like a 40, a bench press, a jump, like an agility, maybe
just
not those
that everybody knows that we have,
or like a set of Highland events, right? Or something in that capacity. It's like a bunch of smaller events comboed together.
The gauntlet of Highlander events.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. This is what they did at Legends, right? They paid for a team of 3, and then they were all there. They brought family. More family would come and watch. It would be a good. I think it would be a good thing. You could do this, a Hyrox event. Why not? I think that's probably coming. If there's the only way it shows its face is to make it clear that CrossFit athletes are very good in this, that could be very good, even elite in that world immediately. unbeknownst to what McIntyre has to say. Yes, it
Dude,
seems like
I
Albon.
watched Hopper and Dallin do it, and it was impressive.
Did they get under an hour?
Hopper was 59 something, and Dallin was like an hour 20.
An hour 20?
20 seconds.
Oh, I was like, holy shit! I was
Like
like,
he was he was like 20 seconds from an hour, and Hopper was 59 something.
And while they do, obviously they run extremely fast. If you even look at the world records, like on the machines, on the sled and stuff, like their machine work isn't crazy. Like they're like high threes, almost 4 minutes, like on the row in the ski, during it.
No,
And
no.
so, and
It's
they're
just
all
the
they're all
runs
going to
that are
take.
wild.
The runs are crazy, but everything else is there. And so, you give someone like I think Emily Rolfe, giving her that ability. I mean, I think she could be elite. But
No,
anyways,
I think Emily could be really, really good. You didn't ask me my Hyrox time.
what's yours? I forgot you did it. I need to do one in
I
full.
was there with him. Hopper was done with his cold tub by the time I was done. Or I was still wall balling when he got out of the tub.
Well, that could be only like 4 minutes. It could be like 105. He could have went like over the line and jumped right in. I'm guessing he didn't, but
no, I was an hour 25.
Cool. I want to do one.
I was actually extremely proud of that. I wanted to get under 90 minutes.
Yeah, I've also seen this too. Like there is a very specific in and out of these transitions that's like 10 to 15 seconds in and 10 to 15 seconds out of like into the machines and back onto the course. Something to think about too. But either way, it's still fast. I still think CrossFit athletes could do very well.
So I think immediately they could be some of the best in the world at it, but I don't think they would be the best in the world.
No, for sure. Yeah, 100%.
I think if Hopper lost 20 pounds,
20, yeah, I guess it probably would have to be.
Yeah, he just to run that fast. I 100% think Jason could beat Hunter McIntyre at a Hyrox if he lost 20 pounds.
Gus, you can see all their everything is online if you just go to Hyrox, and it's not. There's a specific number time for transitions outside of their actual 1K, even if it's included in the distance. Like the time is a separate number, but I don't know. I could, obviously he would know better than me. All right. I started the 50, 40, 30. I've done that before. I've started it, and
like 23 people tagged me and that beat me.
Oh yeah, for sure. The guy, two guys I did it with.
This is grid league time. Okay, calm down.
Two guys I did it with. One guy was 23:30. He's a machine monster, and the other guy was 25:30. I finished the 50 ski or the 50 bike. I did a 60-hour fast Saturday to Tuesday morning, and I did this yesterday morning, and I was like, nope. I was like, I'm not ready. So I'm gonna do it again over the weekend. I felt terrible. I mean, I was like cold sweats. Like I was just like, nope, we're just not even gonna try. I'm gonna put myself in the dirt. But I was at like 9 minutes coming off the 50, so I was like, I was gone pace. We could have made it.
It's hard.
But anyways, all right. We got anything else? Anything else you want to chat about?
What's your opinion on Craig Ritchie?
I haven't seen it. Give me the. I mean, I assume he was virtue signaling per usual. Isn't that what Hiller posted?
Mm-hmm.
What do you say?
No. I don't think maybe. I don't know. I don't know if it was Hiller. I think it was Sevon did the video. But so essentially, like Greg talks in a way.
Mm-hmm.
He's very crude when he talks.
Oh, it's about the Sevon video of Greg saying what he said about Luca. I saw that.
Okay. Yeah. That's what it's about. And I mean, Craig Ritchie basically just tried to cancel Greg and Sevon. And
it was pretty rough. Oh, no, I'm not gonna lie.
No. I don't disagree. I don't disagree. It really was. But you have to understand what he's saying.
Yeah.
Just because you wouldn't say it doesn't mean like I don't know. I wasn't near as offended as a lot of other people.
I'm usually pretty emotionless on these videos.
Hold on.
Don't let too many things like I just state fact. Let you guys keep you guys updated with what's going on in the space and what's
You
going
should
on
have brought
around
the
the space.
Savon one up because it's a lot more funny.
Shocked.
I just want to
how
watch this.
human
I'll take
beings
it. I'll
react
kind of
to
keep
this
it
in a way. It's just hard.
keep it
On a
specific.
recent Savon podcast, he had Greg Glassman on it, who was the founder of CrossFit, and then he got kind
Oh,
of made to
thanks.
sell the company after
In
the
case you guys
April
didn't
19
know.
stuff. And he's back with his own company now called like Metfix or something like that. I haven't looked into it. But this is a clip of them from a recent podcast talking about what happened at the CrossFit Games, and you can kind of make your own mind up.
What I would have done when what's his name drowned.
What's his name is called Lazar Dukic. So just for the future.
Sorry about that, everyone. What a bummer. When he drowned, I would have shut the games down for 5 years in his honor. I would. So help me God. I fucking promise you. We feel so bad. We can't even do. I'm gonna wear every week at games. Instead of games, we're gonna wear black armbands and build a little bronze bust of this fucking guy. You know what the games athletes would have said? Fuck him.
I don't think the games athletes would have said that. Not in the slightest.
People drown. It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
I promise.
If you would have said that, if you would have said I'm shutting down, I would have been, no,
I shut
we
the
didn't
games down for 5 years. They'd be like, what, for this fuck? He's Croatian, you idiot.
He's Serbian. He's called Lazar Dukic. He was loved by many of the athletes. He was loved by many of the personalities, including me, and I'll say his name and keep his memory alive because that's what he deserves. He was loved by people that didn't even meet him because of his personality that came through on the camera. Lazar was literally like one of the crowns of Europe, CrossFit, world CrossFit, an amazing son, a top brother, an amazing partner to his partner, someone who inspired many, many people to be better, a great friend, and someone who does really matter. And that's how he will be remembered, not like this. It's disgusting. Obviously, this isn't coming from HQ, this isn't HQ speaking. Savon is part of media within the CrossFit space and has let this go out. I just feel like for people that were like, bring back Greg, do you really feel like that now? And I hope going forward, anyone that tries to work alongside or sponsor his thing sees this video, kind of knows the character that he is.
Okay. So for sure, that's a very...
And Craig, now listen, he hasn't done a video in a very long time. Now,
let's see.
Somebody
I think he
sent
did
him
one.
that.
He did one 4 days ago, 9 days, 2 weeks. But yeah, not for anything specific. So he's for sure offended, right? Like it hit him like in the feels, which is totally understandable. Greg, I got sent the Greg video in my own chat, and I was like, there was just another way to say what he was trying to say, which is that no matter what the decision was, everyone would have been mad and everyone would have said it was the wrong decision, and it didn't matter, right? So he was, but Greg has his way of saying whatever. Is this really happening? That's not happening. There's no way.
It might be. He was going on a tirade in the text thread. I kind of skipped over all of it. A lot of times I just kind of...
How many, on average, how many texts come through in that chat every day?
Bro.
A couple hundred, at least. How many people?
I think on a day when there's no information at all, it's probably a couple hundred.
How many people are in it?
13.
No, it's a lot. So I think, there's for sure a terrible way to say what Greg was trying to say. And he pretty much hit that on the head. I don't think he could have said what he was trying to say any more like aggressive or cannibalizing, maybe. That's probably
okay. First off, though, they are taking this. They're doing what Grid tried to do to me, what the strong man tried to do to me.
Sure,
you know what I mean. 100%, they're doing that.
To who?
Secondly,
who are they doing it to?
Greg.
But yeah, but that's irrelevant. No one like it's not even. That's as you would say, a nothing burger in the sense
he's already canceled, right? So,
yeah.
But what I'm saying is, it's out of context, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And you're choosing to be offended at something out of context. Kind of like, I get it if you're friends with them. I mean, I get being upset. The internet is not the place.
Oh, for sure.
To shed your anger at. You know what I mean?
Are you sure? Everyone else thinks that.
I don't think so. I think you should
for sure.
Call somebody and just. Secondly, that's how Greg has talked forever. Like, that's how he talks. And like, I hate when people go, I hate so badly. And because I was told this multiple times, you can't just say that's how you talk. Like, if you didn't mean anything by it, then you're supposed to, you should talk differently or pick a different choice of words, which what you just did is you just picked a different choice of words that says the same exact thing that he's saying, but it's a lot nicer. Right?
No, for sure it is. Yeah.
Like, you cannot, I do not care. Like, you cannot say you have to talk this way so
Right.
other people's feelings don't get hurt.
Right.
I just saw something.
So
And if you're in
he-
agreement with what he said, he just said it in a really bad way. Then like, yeah, then all that you could say is like, he could have probably put it in a way that wouldn't make people so mad, but he didn't. And I like, that's fine. Like, that's how he talks. And I think I'm more talking about like for people that like jump to, it's disgusting. Nobody should ever be associated with those two ever. Like, that's what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
Like so many people jump to that without any context at all, or thinking about who's talking. Like, if Taylor said, "F you, John, go suck a dick," if he said that, it would mean
Such
nothing.
an interesting choice of like what to bleep out.
It would mean nothing to me.
Oh, for sure.
It would mean nothing. I would take it in zero way, right? I would be, you know what I would say? I'd be like, I hope you make the CrossFit Games next year, Taylor. That's what I would say. And it would hurt. And that would be how we went at it, right? If my wife said that, or if one of my girls said that at the gym, I would be incredibly hurt. You know what I mean? Because they don't talk that way.
Sure. Yeah. The norm. Yeah. I understand what you're saying.
Okay. And then Carolyn, I get what you're saying, girl. I get it. I 100% get it. You do not have to watch. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's free speech for a reason. I'm not saying he's right. Everybody should talk like that. That's not what I'm saying at all. It's free speech. You do not have to watch. And you could say, I don't watch that because I don't like how they talk. You know how many people have told me they don't watch Chevron because they don't like how he talks? Because he'll go on rants.
Let's see. Well, everyone in this chat, there's 505 comments, and pretty much every single one of them say that they don't watch Chevron because of that.
I disagree. I feel like you're allowed to say how you want to say them, and people choose to be hurt.
Oh, for sure. And yeah, 100%. And so,
what consequence does he have, girl? They already took CrossFit from him.
Right. Yeah. I think
he has no consequence.
Right.
What did his little title say under there? It said canceled. He has no consequence. You don't think he's a little bitter about that?
Yeah, for sure. So the sentiment is that they're upset because he didn't use his name.
I'm sorry. I will let you. I keep interrupting you, CJ. I feel like Kenneth hit it on the head. You can call out inappropriate things without trying to rally a whole bunch of people to cancel somebody.
For sure.
And I'm a little bit passionate about it just because like it's the first time like I see like I don't talk like that at all. Mm-hmm. And some girl emailed every single CrossFit affiliate she could find, Noble, headquarters, everybody in the world she could find, emailed saying that I'm the worst, most racist, misogynistic person in the world. And anybody that knows me has never said anything like that to me, ever. Hiller's similar. People think Hiller is a terrible person, and then they meet him, and he's the nicest guy I've ever met. It's so similar. I just think you can do that. You can call them out without trying to rally 345,000 subscribers to cancel somebody.
Sure. I agree. I agree to that. I've never been a fan of cancel culture in any way whatsoever. So I think Greg probably could have maybe said it differently, probably, but that's not his way. Like, I mean, if you've listened to Greg over the years, then, this is like nothing new. And it might not even in his eyes and in his mind, might not even have been something derogatory way to say, but more so commenting on the fact that no matter what was being done which is what he was trying to say, right? No matter what was being done by HQ in the situation at hand, everyone would have rallied against it and hated the response and the result, etc. I think that's all he was trying to say. Not trying to justify what he was saying, but that, to me, that's the sentiment that was being made. He just knows how to do it, or he just chooses to do it in the most unpolished way possible. Okay.
And okay, and then like okay, I think if you're Craig Ritchie, you could be like, so I don't know if you heard. If you want to go look at it, you can. You don't have to. I don't support them, but I've been getting sent this clip that Greg Glassman said some pretty terrible stuff about Lazar Dukic. Like that's his name, by the way. His name is Lazar Dukic. I just think Greg's a terrible person, and I don't like him. That's all I'm going to say. We're going to move on to the next topic. If he did that, that's it. That's all he did. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You know what I mean? Do you think there's anything wrong with that? Because that's how he feels. That's
what's
how
his
he
platform,
feels,
right? So
right?
on your in their same note, right? In like your same defense, it's his platform, and he can do whatever the fuck he wants, and he, and if that's what he wants to do on his platform, we don't have to agree with it. We also don't have to watch it either, right? But I don't like the calling of the herd to try to stampede someone. You know what I mean? Like that's not my favorite thing, right? But he does have the right to do whatever he wants on his platform, even if we don't agree with it or agree with how it's done or the sentiment at all or whatever, right? But that's the unfortunate, like you said, right? That's people feel like they have to air it out via social media, and he has a huge following, and that's what he feels is right, even if canceling people, I think, is a super shitty thing to do, just across the board. I had some things to tell you off camera about your grid situation.
Craig Ritchie at the last games.
What you drinking?
Games, the games before. It is cherry slush. It's got 250 milligrams of caffeine. That's the only reason I'm drinking. It's and he didn't talk to me, so that's my only interaction with Craig. I don't know anything else about him except that he just didn't talk to me.
That's all right. He was nice the one time I met him. One of my athletes is a huge fan of him and Jess. This is like 2021, and they were nice enough to take time and meet her. And
I think Jazz is the sweetest. I think she's like, it's funny. As I feel like she's very bubbly and talks to everybody, and like he just doesn't talk to anybody.
I think he's kind of an introvert. All right, let's see what else. So from where you were 24 hours ago, did you know about this? How long ago did you know about the events? You don't have to say.
Like all of them?
Yeah. Like the line, like as you know it right now.
I did.
So before you knew,
I knew like three of them. I didn't know like the fitness experience at all.
Are you more or less excited? I know you say you want to stay neutral, but you have to be like, I think this is gonna blow up.
I would say more excited. I'm like cautiously excited.
Sure. I agree. I'm right. I'm the same there. I'm right there. I think with what we had to where we are now, I feel like we're in at least a little bit of a better potential direction than what it was, what I anticipated before.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So sweet. All right. I think that's good enough. An hour.
Yeah.
Cool, man. All right. Well, I assume we'll probably be on. Maybe I'll be on next week for sure. What are your Christmas plans? Hang with the fam? Nothing. Your family's in Houston with you, right?
Yeah. We'll probably go to their house.
Cool.
And
good
eat
stuff.
And then that's it.
Awesome. Cool, man. All right. Well, hey, thanks guys. Thanks chat. We'll catch you guys on the next one.